Mayor Bob, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here at WSAU and WSAU.com. I mean, we've been trying to do something about the weather for several months now. It's not happening. We got it again over the weekend. So, obvious question first off is how is the budget looking? How's the morale with the street crews and everything like that?
Well, first of all, hello Wausau, hello all the north central Wisconsin region. Well, winter is obviously here. I know at the end of January we were kind of excited as far as, things were so lack of snow, if you will. It was cold. I mean, we had to cancel events for our Winterfest here in Wausau. But we were kind of anticipating, with a little bit of great joy, if you want to call it that, all the money that we had saved. Because remember last April we had all the snow emergencies, and that took a big chunk out of the snow budget. Fortunately, through a little help from above, we got through November and December, and even January just fine. Well, February came, record months, and going into March, yes, February was expensive. We are still fine. We are still ahead on our budget schedule. Now, that said, number one, I still have to deal with March, April, and November and December of this year, till 2019. So if I have another month like I did in February, it might have some implications as far as the budget. But we set aside a lot of money for the budget as far as snow removal or salt or sand, whatever. I cannot say enough good things about our Department of Public Works staff. These individuals have been working 16-hour shifts, one with snow removal in the first place, but then further on as far as removal for snowbanks, for clearance, widening the roads, that type of thing. And, of course, when we get more snow, it makes it interesting. We try to forecast, if you will, some different things. And myself and the Department of Public Works director will kind of talk and try to plan ahead in case we need to do a snow emergency or something like that. We've already got a record this year as far as 3. Hopefully we won't have any more. But again, folks, please remember, I cannot control the weather. I would agree, and I can understand a little frustration on some folks' part. There is a cabin fever or whatever you want to call it. I understand that too. But you got to be hopeful, you got to be optimistic, and you got to be positive. It's going to be July, and then I'll start getting phone calls as to how hot it is. No, most people when they call, in most ways they're just venting. But yeah, easily I've heard from probably 60 phone calls plus as far as the weather or weather-related issues, that type of thing. And again, I understand the frustration for some folks. Again, I cannot say enough good things about our Department of Public Works, the police, everybody involved. They're the ones that make the city work when such situations happen. Here's the good news. Most people, I think, accept it. It is winter. It is Wisconsin. For a change, we actually got a good belt of winter. If we're lucky, we will not be getting snow on April 20th like we did last year. And like everything else, we'll get through it.
Yeah.
And we'll move forward.
Absolutely, and the crews have done a great job so far. People are still kind of negotiating some narrow streets in town, and that's to be expected with the way things have gone. They can't get to everything all at once. You've got those priorities that they have to run through as well. So I'm sure
they have other jobs that they got to get done too.
Yeah.
And in cost-saving moves from years ago, they are understaffed technically right now. So what they have done, I think, is incredible, if not actually miraculous in some ways. And the good news is, and one of those positive things, a lot of folks have come forward as far as residents, coming forward to say thank you to them, and just showing ways of appreciating what they do. Because, those guys work awfully hard in all different times of the day or night. And I'm just grateful that they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched on infrastructure and things like that a little bit. You did have a chance this morning to meet with the new, last week, I should say, to meet with the new Secretary of the DOT,
Yes.
Tony Evers' selection for that, Craig Thompson. How did those discussions go as you shared a bus ride?
It was a very good discussion. I have spoken with the governor on several occasions as far as things that Wausau is doing as far as some infrastructure, along with our other state reps, Senator Petrowski and Representative Schneider. And hey, let's not forget about Wausau and those folks up here, up in the north. At this point, I like what the governor has presented, and not just for Wausau, but for every community. Because I'm not looking for a handout, but if I pay money into, like I said, the shared revenue fund, I do expect to get our money back. And going back, like I said, with all the infrastructure projects going on, and I've mentioned this on your program and other media outlets before, folks, it's to a point right now where a lot of this, the Band-Aid approach that might have been done in the past to repair or just keep something going, it's caught up. And Wausau is no different than many other municipalities throughout the state of Wisconsin, actually throughout the country. The thing is, I cannot sit and wait around for, say, the state or the federal, okay, this is what we're going to do for you. Some of this stuff we have to take on by ourselves. Infrastructure is something that we all use. We all use the roads, we all use the sewer system, etc. And it's stuff that finally needs to be addressed. And I know this summer, as we had a press conference here a couple of weeks ago, another media outlet, just to let everybody know what's going to be happening this summer with all the different road projects and everything like that. I want to give folks a heads up. Yes, it's going to be inconvenient. It's summertime, and I'm hoping the snow is gone by May, maybe by June at the latest. But seriously, I always say this, yes, while it's inconvenient for a few months at a time, when it's all said and done, it looks great, and most people never notice the difference. If they do, it's in a positive way. So that's what we're trying to bring forward and get things done.
Yeah, a lot of those projects have been gone through several city councils, as you've mentioned before.
Languished.
Yeah.
And the good news is I've got a great city council now. I did the last term as well. We really have tackled a lot of projects and gotten a lot of things done with very little controversy. The thing is, I know from the mayor's administration, for example, we get that message out to the council far in advance. There's not been any surprises. There's not this last minute, oh, we got to vote on this now. We don't know anything about it. The message is sent out to residents through every type of conceivable way of media possible. Candidly, if people don't hear the news, I can't help you. That's on you. I do get amused sometimes where rumors and misrepresentation spring up. And amused be the right word, because some of it is just what I hear, and it's a very, very small percentage. Most people get in the reason why it's being done. And there's just some out there that like to stir the pot. It's their freedom of speech, and okay, God bless them. They make the job interesting, but again, we got the facts.
Mm-hmm.
We just bring the message out, let people know of what's happening. That's why we haven't had any major controversy or issues here in the last 3 years. So, and we're going to keep going that way too. Again, I understand some people don't want to pay for stuff. If you want to live in a decent, civilized society where everybody benefits, and Wausau is very successful in so many ways, there's got to be a contribution to it.
Absolutely. And again, as you said, I think most people get that, and they're willing to contribute as well.
I've been pleasantly surprised because, as you heard, we're in the process. We've had several public hearings as far as relocating our water utility. And a lot of it, this is an idea that just kind of evolutionized, if you will, since about Thanksgiving, because we owned a bunch of wells on the northwest side of Wausau. And I kind of got to thinking, I was talking with Eric Lemon, our Department of Public Works Director, who does an absolutely fabulous job. And I'm just like, we own that property over there. The DNR keeps adding more restrictions or more things that we have to adhere to and everything. Frankly, we've run out of space over at the present utility. It's almost 60 years old. I give our staff all the credit in the world because it's original equipment, a lot of it, and they've kept it and maintained it all these years. It will cost an extra $11 million to relocate. But to me, it's the right thing to do. We've made these presentations to the council. It's been televised. The Water Utility Commission approved it. This is something we've been talking about now for about 4 or 5 months. We've had public hearings, and people seem to understand that, yes, it might be expensive as far as doing that relocation, but they understand the reason why. This is a multi-generational type of project. And for the long term, and for the $29 to $30 million that we would have to spend to update the facility, we spend that extra money to move it to the other side of town. It's going to be really worth the investment, if you will. One, we couldn't build that facility down there today, even if we wanted to. The DNR would not allow it because it is in a floodplain situation. So you know, I know for myself and others here on staff, we look at these things and try to have that vision of the future, if you will, as far as things happening, to try to project as far as, okay, it might cost more now, but if we wait, it could be astronomical. It's a guessing game sometimes. But again, a lot of these projects that we're trying to do, a new fire station, rebuilding our roads, work on our sewer system, whatever infrastructure project it will be, it's done on purpose. Because that's going to maintain the vitality of our city in the long term. Businesses, when they come to town and look at it, they do look at how you take care of your infrastructure. I've been told that. Mm-hmm. And overall, we've gotten pretty good grades as far as that. Yeah, our facilities are old, and they need to be addressed. And there's just no sugarcoating it. A lot of it has to be replaced. It's time, and it is expensive. But we try to get that message out to people, and by and large, I hear relatively few complaints. It's the same usual bunch. Mm-hmm. Okay, they don't want to spend money on nothing. And that's their right as taxpayers. Okay, I understand that. But again, in getting that message out in a proper, truthful way, just about everybody understands the reason why.
One more thing that you got the message out on last week before we let you go quickly here. Just a quick recap of what the meeting is going to be tonight. It's a committee of the whole meeting. It's not a regular city council meeting, but the whole gang is going to be together for this one. Going over some more dioxin reports regarding soil along Thomas Street to Riverside Park. Again, quickly, what's going to be presented tonight? What's the information? What should people?
Well, this is another big hearing, if you will, to address residents' concerns. There's a small contingent over in the Thomas Street area that are concerned about different things that might be potentially in the soil. And we've addressed this, especially since I've taken over, frankly, to address residents' concerns, to hear what they have to say, to listen to them. And we had a presentation here in May. Oh gosh, it was
May of 2018. Yep.
Okay. And we had the Department of Health Services, the DNR involved, and they made presentations because truthfully, they are the neutral experts. They are the folks that deal with this stuff on a daily basis and could tell us what we could and could not do, if it could be treated effectively, it could not, whatever. And to alleviate those concerns for the residents, we had this presentation done back at that time. Some other things have come up since last fall. I want to get this stuff addressed. Again, we have listened to our residents. There will be some more testing done, that type of thing. I just want the residents to know that yes, we have listened, we do care. I've got to follow, as does the city council, as far as the experts' advice. I understand the issues that people could be a little fearful of some things that could be there. But by and large, we've been told by the city, and this is going to be the second time we're hearing or having such a presentation for the public to attend and speak at, to find out what's going on and what else has changed, if anything, since that last hearing and presentation. It's the right thing to do. I know some folks may never be happy or satisfied. We have nothing to hide, and it's being open and honest and truthful. I released reports last week for the agenda, if you will, as far as things that we've received from the state, as far as this is what we can do, can't do, etc. Testing that could be done and should be done. And I've gotten a lot of thank yous actually from some of those residents who had concerns, because they're just like, thank you for listening to us. And to me, that's what government should be doing, and that's what we have been doing and will continue to do.
I'll look forward to hearing the information tonight and seeing what comes out of the meeting. And
I'm kind of curious myself, because you know what? There's some things that we know about, but okay, again, it's to hear what folks have to say. I don't want anybody being surprised or anything like that, and that includes us. Mm-hmm. But again, the city has absolutely nothing to hide or anything like that. I just want the truth to get out there, hence the reason why we've really pushed on and done this again, to try to answer people's questions. I don't know what more we could do after this, but hopefully the answers will suffice and everything's going to get going as it had been planned.
Always we appreciate the time for these little monthly chats, and we'll do it again.
It's something I look forward to. Probably the highlight of my month. Okay, that might be pushing it, but seriously, thank you so much for having me. Take care, Wassa. Have a great day.